Do you know Love Jutsu? No? Girl, then why do you have my heart racing? What's up, guys? Welcome back to Radiant Tale. I'm so excited because there's some romance in the air, and I don't think we've quite finished with it. After that, we wandered around aimlessly while admiring the scenery in the park. I've started to get used to it, but the idea of being underwater is still so unusual. It really is. I feel comfortable here. Maybe because Leave was the one who created this place. You do? There are a bunch of water spirits around, right? I can't see them, but I can tell they're there from all the movement in the water. Yeah, a lot of them seem to like you too. To tell you the truth, there's a whole cluster around us. Really? Well, that makes me feel a little shy. No, that makes me feel so happy. There's a bunch over there. How about we take a seat? After we sat down, Pascalia looked to me with a serious expression. I actually invited you here because I wanted to give you something. I feel like he's gonna tell us the leave vows. Pascalia reached into his bag and took out a charm with a transparent crystal. Wait, this looks similar to the ones we just saw. Yes, it's a replica of the crystal in the Lacrima earrings, and it's the souvenir the ferryman mentioned when we first arrived in the city. I bought it during a break while we were doing our promotion. I made a point about how things like these seem to appeal to girls, and well, I know that you aren't the type to rely on trinkets to grant your wishes, but if your wishes came true, I'd be overjoyed as well. Though it might be a self-indulgent request on my part, I'd be happy if you accepted it. Pascalia, thank you. The crystal seemed to glisten, and I was sure that it wasn't just the lights in the park. He bought this for me. I'm so happy he was thinking of me. Pascalia placed the crystal in my palm before enveloping it with his hands. May all your wishes come true. He prayed that in earnest with all his heart, and that was enough to make this crystal priceless to me. I can't just accept this without giving something in return. I want to thank you too. But then I'll have to give you a return gift to your return gift. Wait, but then I'd have to... And that's exactly why you don't need to worry about that. Like I said earlier, I'd be overjoyed if your wishes came true. In that case, I hope that yours are granted too, Pascalia. But if you do that, it's not yours that'll be granted after all. It'll be mine. Pascalia, you just said the same thing yourself. And I feel the same way you do. See, you find what you're searching for may make me even happier than my own hopes coming true. Tifalia. Ah! Maybe I'll get you one of these too. No, you don't have to. It's the thought that counts, and that's more than enough for me. We can't let the crystal get scratched, so use this back. Thank you. Well, we shouldn't stay out too late, so let's start heading back. I slipped the charm into the bag and stood up. In that instant, did I fall? Something strange caught my eye. By the way, Pascalia, was that water hourglass you wear always that color? What? I feel like it was closer to light blue in the past. It changes color sometimes. Really? I've never seen the hourglass ever in my life. This water hourglass is special. It's something very important to me. I'd sometimes take note of its ornament, but I found it strange that the water inside wasn't always flowing, which was why I'd assumed it wasn't really intended to be a precise measurement of time. It's very pretty, though. Could you show me again when it changes color next? Sure. What does it mean? As we talked, we walked side by side. So this water hourglass he's always wearing is that important to him, huh? It would be nice if I got another chance to learn more about Pascalia. With these thoughts in my mind, I gently held the bag containing the charm. I feel like Tifalia really likes Pascalia. Like I'm getting this insanely, like, I don't know what it is. There's so much more to Pascalia than meets the eye, and Ooh, is that why like people love characters like that who are quiet because they have so much more to say than they do? So we'll send the Chloris to the castle shortly. I see. Understood. We made a stop in a village after we left Orient's. In a corner of the village, we set up camp and had dinner. And of course, we made our usual report to Alice. It's a rather well-known observation based on the data, but it seems that Chloris really do bloom more readily in the countryside. If that were the case for the cities, the phenomenon would have helped us improve the princess' condition quicker. Unfortunate. There's a price to everything, and that's the one we paid for the proliferation of duels. Maybe that's just life. You can have everything you want. We put on a simple show that day when the village children implored us to, and a bunch of Chloris had bloomed in one go. Oh, wow. In the city, that would be a very rare sight. Children bloom then more readily to begin with, not to mention the people out here in the countryside aren't as jaded as city folk. That must lower the bar even more. Still, what a rare sight. 3 Chloris bloomed at once. Is it really so uncommon? In my hometown, they bloom quite frequently. Alright, you're from the country too. Yes, we could actually reach it if we made a detour on the way to Ferris. That's cool! I'd love to see your hometown one day, Pascalia. I'd welcome you all with open arms. Other than the Chloris delivery, is there anything else you'd like to report? The only thing I can think of are the few fiends we defeated. They didn't seem to plan on invading the village, and we were able to beat them, but... I see. Even in villages with frequent Chloris blooms, fiends are appearing more often. They shall follow quest to the closest public security force to increase their patrols. As Alice gave us a light nod, something popped into my head. That reminds me, it's apparently quite rare for travelers to visit this village. They heard we came from the capital and asked us many questions about the princess... Tafalia. Tafalia, why? Tafalia, shut your mouth. Why? No! They say that they heard he has been indisposed for some time, then asked when he would finally recover. I'm not surprised. 10 years have already passed since the prince froze his heart. Guys, are we really doing this? And King Vigonia doesn't have any other children either. The royal blood has the protection of the 4 great spirits. If it dies out, it doesn't bode well for this country. Frankly, I believe many people are anxious, though they aren't fully seeing it. But at the moment, the prince is on a smooth road to recovery, right? Yes, he is. A few days ago, he even gently stroked a kitten that climbed onto his lap. That means he can move his body voluntarily now. The prince and the cat, huh? Must have been a sight for Alice's sore eyes. Yes, his compassion was artistic and poetically beautiful. I could only stand there in utter awe. Hey, come on, don't walk like an infant. Alice must have been overwhelmed with joy, because he was practically sobbing as he described the prince. He seems really happy. Considering how the prince was unable to even take care of his most basic needs. To Alice, seeing the prince's condition improve so much feels as Joyce is witnessing a miracle. Well, I guess I don't mind listening to his rambling when he's this fired up. The entire team usually ran for the hills when Alice began his prince speeches, but today we all had a slight shift in attitude when we saw Alice shedding tears of joy. Okay. Let's go grab some drinks for everyone. Everyone stayed in their seats as we watched Alice talk about the prince between sobs. This is awesome. All of you are doing an excellent job. You are surpassing our expectations. Everyone at the castle is very grateful to you all. I ask that you continue to keep up your efforts in blooming the flora. Yes, sir. I need to do everything within my power as well, for the prince's sake. That and King Vigonia has high hopes for you all. In fact, he even said that he wanted to invite you all to the coronation ceremony that will be held after the prince recovers. Oh my, what a great honor. What might the coronation ceremony be? Alright, you weren't even born when King Begonia had his coronation. In short, it's a ceremony where the next sovereign is crowned. Last time the entire country was mourning, what a ruckus that was. A ceremony performed during the crowning of a new sovereign. The heir to the throne done all the core items of the major five, then makes an oath to the four great spirits and the first king. During this rite, the entire country is in a festive mood. Hell yeah. Indeed. It was quite a long time ago, so I only have vague memories of it, but I vividly remember His Majesty with the core items of the major five as he made his oath to the great spirits in King Arthur. Huh? That means there'll be a nationwide festival when Clovis is crowned too, right? Are we about to see a party, bro? The core items, those are the lacrymal earrings of Oriens and Cultura's, Isaphora. Labyrinth necklace. Yes, that. The title implies that there's one for every big city, right? For Kalita, it's the Caritas one inside the Sage Tower. The core item of Kalita left by Silis, the Great Spirit of Earth, one embedded with powerful earth magic that has the ability to revitalize life, currently managed by the Sage Tower. Heard. The one in Arthur is the Roquette crown, which King Begonia wears constantly. The core item of the capital is currently possession of King Begonia. What about Ferris? It's gone. What? Where is it? Ryan let out that whisper, and everyone's eyes fixed on him. I shall explain. Valid. The great spirit of fire left behind the Intaligo ring, which used to be under Ferris's protection. The great spirit of fire, the spirit has a fierce and aggressive personality, lives by the principle that the strong always come out on top, which means it's their duty to protect the weak. Valid. The core item of Ferris that the great spirit of fire found left behind, a ring embedded with powerful fire magic. Presently, its location is unknown. Damn. However, its currently whereabouts are unknown. Though it has not been announced to the public, it is a critical problem. If it stays missing, does that mean the king's coronation can't happen? Yes, that's why the government is still in search of the item. However, we still don't even have any leads. To make matters worse, Ferris has been especially turbulent these past few years. Indeed. I mean, yeah, valid, they're pretty upset. Their special item's gone. I should tell you, your next destination is Verus, the Duel City. It is a city of the gladiators which consists of 9 arenas. Combatants duel in each arena, and every day the citizens go into a frenzy over them. The most defining feature of that city is their singular creed. Strength is justice. Does that mean if you're strong, everyone has to listen no matter what you say? The laws we're all familiar with exist as well, so that's not always true. But I can't deny that Ferris is much more convenient if you have physical strength. So this is going to be a breeze for Ion. Sounds like a place that doesn't mesh well with Rady the Great, whose main charm is his lethal cuteness. It doesn't seem like my ideal city either. In the past, Ferris didn't used to be like this. The great spirit Valen, who founded the city, established strength is justice with the ideal that the strong would protect the weak. But now that teaching is a mere shadow of its formal self, as the weak are placed in the disadvantaged positions. In other words, that's the problem in Ferris, right? Yes, it is. Though it's a different result, it feels similar to the Ishunorians. They had those tendencies to begin with, but slowly they spiraled out of control. You can say that. But unlike Oriens, Ferris went too far, and the government has had to directly suppress them once. Oh. Suppress? The Ferris Purge operation 3 years ago. I'm sure you've heard at least of the name. A large-scale operation that took place in Ferris 3 years ago. Back then, the idea that power was everything had a chokehold on morality, so corruption and illegal fights ran rampant. Arthur's security forces had to intervene to get things under control, since the Ferris forces had abandoned their morals. Alice served as the commander of the mission. Whoa. Power is everything. This ideology went overboard, leading to widespread corruption and illegal competition. Corruption even spread to the security forces inside Ferris. Thus, Althea's security forces were deployed and there was a large-scale purge. I think that was a pretty hot topic for a while. Yes. Incidents of corruption such were brought under control through the purge. However, it only provided superficial relief to the problems there. The Chloris Bloom's rates inside Ferris are still plummeting. Power is everything. The citizens are so obsessed with this concept that they resent our government which interfered with it. Huh? Even though the incidents were solved because of the purge? It means that the problem is deep-seated. Perhaps due to their lack of trust in the government, Ferris is the only city we don't have much information about. Thus, please be cautious. Unlike all the previous cities, advertising the fact that you work for the government might have adverse effects on your success. Interesting. Good to know. I see. Sounds like we've got our work cut out for us there, too. We always do. That means we have to start from scratch and even change our marketing strategy. Something's up with Ion. In any case, with the exception of Arthur, Ferris will be your last destination. Though it will be an uphill battle, we're counting on you all once again. Damn. Alice lowered his head towards us before ending the transmission. So we can't broadcast that we have the king's backing, huh? Looks like it'll be another tough one. Everyone seemed to share the same opinion, and the mood was somewhat somber after the transmission ended. Well, we'll somehow pull through in all the cities we've gone to before. I'm sure that everything will turn out all right if we're all in this together. And of course, Villa was the one who blasted away the gloomy clouds hanging over us. Yes, that's right. As long as we support each other, we will succeed. Well, I never considered the possibility of failure to begin with. Well, us worrying about failure won't do us any good. It's our job to succeed, so let's show them what we've got. Yes, agreed. Owen seemed to be a little distracted, and though I was concerned, when our show in Ferris ends, we're finally going to return to Arthur. Despite having the small kernel of unease, I psyched myself up. Let's go, baby! Chapter 4, I think? Yes, routes. We're still on the common routes. Does that mean that we haven't had, like, a lover yet? Someone who we want to be with? Oh. We have something different. One of Ascolia's major five and founded by Valen, the great spirit of fire, Ferris, the Dual City. Is this where Alan is from? Or maybe he was one of the guards that was also dispatched. This city upholds the ideology that strength is justice, and every day Gladiators fiercely vie for victory in the 9 arenas. All disputes and incidents are determined by the results of duels, and it is a city where a handful of power people monopolize glory, while the countless people without power weep in anguish. I can only pray that this place will change like all the previous cities we've visited. Damn. This city sounds like something's up. And that, my dear audience, will be all for today's show. Now that everyone's present, please give thunderous applause to our members who put in such a brilliant performance. Hell yeah, baby. How is the flora? I believe it is exactly how you predicted, hearing that applause. Damn. I figured as much. Oh, so we're cutting to it, like the show not going good. It isn't even sprouting, let alone budding or blooming. The seed didn't budge at all, so I tore my eyes away with it, gazing at the empty seats. A few people had come to see the show, but it was a grand total of 13. This was the fruit of our labor from Circus's first show in Ferris. How many shows did we end up doing? Oh... And that's where we're ended today. Tifalia frustrated, efforts not being afforded the glory of a florist blooming. This sucks, and I hope that we'll be able to find a solution. I hope you guys enjoyed. Love you guys so much. I'll catch you later. Peace.